Hello, friends. Today's topic is being laid off. Teacher, let's rant.
So yesterday I was fired from my 4th grade math and science elementary school position as a teacher, and we're going to talk about it. And let me just start off by saying the purpose of this video is to comfort the ones that have been reaching out to me to make sure I'm good, to comfort my kids who have been reaching out to me on the classroom interface and I can't respond obviously, and to clear up my name because I feel like there is just some major bias with the termination, and it was a lot of different pleasing to make people be quiet in my termination. I apologize beforehand if I become pausy, if I become hesitant. This is something I'm still processing, as my birthday was just 2 days ago and I was just terminated from my job. So let me also give comfort and say that the same day that I was terminated, which is yesterday, I also received 2 job offers, 2 offer letters in my email right before I went to the termination meeting. So employment-wise and financially, I'm good. See, when you are working in divine timing and you are always favored and someone's always looking out for you, you're never going to be left to float. And that's what's helping me gain peace about all this, because I would know if I was 10 toes down in the wrong, if everything wasn't just ordainedly moving swiftly, like no beats missed, no bills missed, finances are not affected, bills are not affected. I'm no longer an elite employee, but it is what it is. Let's get into the story. So on Friday, May 10th of last week, I got a call from HR at the end of the school day, and they said, check your email, you're going to be on a paid leave for a pending investigation for unprofessional conduct in the classroom. And what I was told was a student said that I threw a marker at them, and they went and told their guardian, and of course the guardian went up to school to report me. Now, to add the detail for you can see what the throwing of the marker was, because I'm totally open for people saying, you know, you was dead wrong for that. However, let's just be real here and let's make sure that we're not exaggerating the truth. Now, because I'm a teacher, I want to show y'all and demonstrate what happened. So all school year, might I add, we've been doing this practice, and this practice only happens when I see a few students who are not paying attention, who are talking, or whatever the case may be. If I'm teaching and you're not paying attention, this is my practice. I will take a marker, I will not throw it, I will toss it at the desk, and what typically is the response is the student says, oh, that was Mr. Walls, he's talking, let me get up, and the class goes, ha ha, we all laugh, and the student would typically grab the marker and walk it back up to me. The marker is never going to be thrown at a student nor tossed in the student's direction. It's going to be always tossed in the direction of the desk, so it's hitting the desk. Now again, I'm open for anyone saying that was unprofessional, because if it was, it was cool. I'll take that L because I'm not really worried about that anyway. Now, to add more context, before I got this phone call, one of the members of the leadership team walked into my classroom right before the end of the day and said, we want you to go home because the student's parent is on the way up here to basically get at you because they heard that you threw a marker at their student. And I said, oh my gosh, let me go check with the girls that were in the section to make sure I didn't offend them. So I pulled them to the side and I said, hey, did I offend you by doing the marker? And they said no, but so-and-so was, because she said that you hit them. Now at this point, this student had left early, so I didn't have the chance to go up here and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, it's something that we've been always doing, and that's that. Now, to add more context, this parent that came after me and reported me has been coming after me the entire school year. I have never talked to her face-to-face, not one time this entire school year. She has refused to come to any parent-teacher conferences. She has refused to respond to any of my dojo messages. So even if there was an issue, I could not resolve it. But what she would do instead is go to other teachers and other people that work in the building to talk about me and to say that I'm doing different things instead of working something out with me. Never ever came to me about anything. And for the safety of the student, I'm not going to add any more context more than that, because everything else is just details that doesn't really need to be known. The only reason why I made that known is because I want you to know that this person has already had a predetermined bias against me. So this was just news, good news to her ears, because she was waiting for something with me to come up so she can go and tell on me again. This is why I say, if you don't like somebody in your child's school, don't sit around your child, because they have to now look at that person through your lens. Because now what was happening throughout the entire school year, the student was difficult to work with because everything the parent was saying about me, that's all she saw and thought about me. So I was working with the double-edged sword. So they sent me on a paid leave to investigate, had me write a statement, and finally they told me to come in, which was on a Wednesday, to have a meeting. I pretty much knew what's up. As soon as they sent me an invite and it said no title, it didn't say nothing but the person who were meeting and one of them was HR, I already knew I was about it there. I knew before anything happened what was going to happen. And even if I was not sure about the decision that was about to be made, I prepared myself for both. I said to myself, I said, if my leadership team and if the people who I work with do not proclaim to the amazingness that I have submitted to this school, and do not ride that and fight for me and make sure that I stay, versus putting some random person in my classroom for the remaining 4 weeks of the school year and watch all the work that I put in the entire school year go down the drain, then I know this is where I need to be. But if I get terminated, this is not only a wake-up call that I do not need to be in education, but this is my last year in education. This was my 6th year in education. I took off 1 year because education pissed me off the first time, and I came back because somebody said you have a natural talent for teaching, and I came back. After escaping, I came back to give back because I love kids. Black children, to be very, very specific. I love inputting as much wisdom as I can to make sure they don't have the same struggles and ideologies that we struggle with as black adults. So, again, even if what I did was unprofessional, which I'm not here to debate, I don't care about that. Here's what I really care about. When they walked me into that meeting, they said, not only are we terminating you, which was cool, I saw that coming a mile away, they said today was your last paycheck. And that's when I froze. Because I just knew, even if I got terminated, that I was going to be very well compensated for the work that I put in for this entire school year. And because you want to terminate me 4 weeks in advance from the school year, I don't get to see none of the money that I worked for. Not even one last paycheck. I don't get to have at least a summer pay. I don't walk these kids through all the state testing, all the standardized testing, all the interims and all the. I did all that work just to be told that I'm being let go and we're not paying you no more and your benefits get cut off right now. This is how I know God is real, because the moment I got fired, I got hired twice. So God knew this was going to happen before it even happened. He had everything planned out. Everything was getting ready to just be set. This is why I'm not upset at the action. I'm upset at what's going to happen to the children because of this action. Because now what's happening is kids are reaching out to me because they're confused. They're trying to figure out why this random lady in my room. They're trying to figure out why I'm not there. I couldn't even say goodbye to my children. Per the leave, per the contract, I can't respond to messages because it's a violation. And did anyone think that through? And that's what I'm saying. No one thought about the children in this matter. We were trying, and I know for a fact they were trying to appease this parent. I know that for a fact. I feel it. Everything was political. Literally everyone who knows me personally is fucking confused. They're texting me like, what the fuck? You rather have some random ass person who just got there a month ago, weird energy might I add, than have their full-time classroom teacher who been there doing the academic work, the social emotional learning work, and the therapeutic work as well. Them kids know me. They adore me. Not because I come off it's because I invested energy into them. I told them who they are and who they're supposed to be. I told them that they're the black kings and queens of this earth, and you shall not look less than of yourself. And that's why I'm pissed off. And let's not talk about the biases, because parents are coming for me from my TikTok as if I'm on here doing OnlyFans. Who is this gay black male teaching my child? Not so. Oh, but my child is raising up. Not to mention, I've had full-blown students hit me this school year. And I was told by leadership to call them and tell them I'm sorry. What I've been through this fucking school year And then they tried to bandage everything up and say, well, we won't report any unprofessional conduct if you want to work in the school again. Fuck schools at this point. I'm done. You lost a good fucking teacher. You lost someone who gave a shit about kids in a fucking world of people who don't. Peace out.
Being fired like that is crazy. What do you think about this video? Comment down below, and thanks for watching. Until next time.